Good evening to all of you. Today we will be discussing about a dynasty in South India which is known for its strongest navy of that time.
Chola.
And apart from its strongest navy, they are also known for their village administration. Chola dynasty 850 to 1200. The existence of this dynasty is visible between this period. This dynasty is established by a person whose name was Vijaya Vijayalaya at the same year 850. You must know that the Cholas used to be the feudatories of the Pallavas. So what does it mean? It means that the Pallavas were succeeded in their area by the Cholas. Under the patronage, the Cholas, and under the patronage of the Pallavas, the Cholas used to be there. But when they found the space, they grew like anything. So, Vijayalaya, as a founder, he established this dynasty. But his son, who became a bit more famous, Aditya Chola first, around 870. And during the Aditya Chola, you can say, in a sense, he was a real founder of this Chola dynasty, the son of Vijayalaya. But technically, Vijayalaya is the founder. So, during the Aditya Chola, a war happens. And that war is which one? Thirupuramviyam. Thirupuramviyam. Actually, the name is a little difficult, but somewhere it is written Thirupuramviyam, and somewhere it is written Thirupuramvipuram. Okay, so even if this must be remember Thirupuramviyam or Thirupuramvipuram, so that is more than sufficient. So this battle, basically, what happens in this battle, that the Pallavas became very weaker, because this battle happens during a ruler called Aparajita, and you know Aparajita was the last known ruler of the Pallava dynasty. So by that time, by the time of Aparajita, the Pallavas' power had diminished a lot, and when the Pallavas were not powerful enough, at that time the Pandyas attack. Pandyas. So you can say this Thirupuramviyam battle happens between the weakened Pallava and the Pandyas. So if Pallavas are weakened, then who will win the battle? Pandyas? But it does not happen. Why it does not happen? As I have told you, that the Cholas used to be the feudatories of the Pallavas. So during the time of Aparajita, they were the feudatories, and what happened, that they helped They helped Aparajita, or you can say they helped Pallavas. And because of the help of this Aditya Chola, you can say, or the Chola, they won the battle, they defeated the Pandyas. So this on this battle, Thirupuram or Thirupuram, the Palwas won the battle with the help of the Cholas. So the main role behind winning this battle was of whom? Of the Cholas. So it means that the Cholas were the real power behind winning the battle. Therefore, what happens that later on the Aparajita was defeated by the Aditya Chola, and you can say Chola dynasty comes in a much bigger sense. So this is the main role of the Aditya Chola, that during this battle he enlarges the foundation of the Chola Empire. After the Aditya Chola, again a ruler comes whose name was what? Parantaka. And this Parantaka is famous for the battle of, any idea? Takkolam. Battle of Takkolam. And in this battle, a Rashtrakuta king whose name was Krishna III defeats to Parantaka. And once Parantaka is defeated, then a different ruler comes. Parantaka had a son whose name was Rajaditya. Rajaditya was killed in the battle of Takkola. And after the Parantaka, I would say the most famous ruler of the whole Chola dynasty, which is known almost to all the UPSC aspirants, that is no one else but the Raja Pratham. Raja. Why he is known? Why is he famous? Because he expanded the Chola dynasty, which had never witnessed before. And this Raja also included the Malaysia, that island in his empire. And he did not stop himself only in Malaysia, he also annexed the northern portion of Sri Lanka, who has the capital at that time, Anuradhapur. So, and when he annexed the northern portion of Sri Lanka, he called that portion as what? Mamundi Cholapuram. Mamundi Cholapuram. And the same Raja is again very well known face, because he constructed a temple called Raja temple in Tanjore. But my question is, why it is called Raja temple? By the way, who was the deity here? I think it was devoted to Lord Shiva. Yeah. So why it is called Raja? Why? Any? Because look, this is a habit of the whole Chola dynasty, of all the rulers, that wherever they placed or wherever they constructed the temple, they also placed the statue of the king and queens in addition to the statue of the god or goddess inside the temple. So this is one of the reasons why the temples are named after the name of the king of that time. Is it also called Brihadeshwar temple? So Raj Raja temple, which was constructed by this person in Tanjore.
Brihadeshwar Rajendra.
Rajendra. All right. So this is the Raj Raja temple in Tanjore. So for these things, the Raj Raja cannot be forgotten in history. After the Raj Raja, a bit more you can say, although he was, after all, he was the son of such a powerful ruler who was named as Rajendra Chola. Rajendra Chola is not only famous for his Gangai Kond Chola title, he is also famous for annexing the whole Sri Lanka. The northern portion of Sri Lanka was annexed by his father Raj Raja. But when Rajendra Chola comes, he annexed the whole Sri Lanka into his empire. But why did he do this? Because look, Raj Raja and this Rajendra Chola, he had a very cordial relationship with Sri Lanka. You must know that the ruler of Sri Lanka at that time, I think Mahendra V, he had established a Buddhist monastery in his kingdom. And to maintain that Buddhist monastery, this Rajendra Chola had donated a village, and whatever revenue was coming out of that village, that revenue was invested to take care that monastery which had been come into existence because of the ruler of Sri Lanka, Mahendra V. So they had such a cordial relationship. But what happens? The hungerness of expanding the empire, and the main thing was the trade. In order to control over the trade in that region, because during the Rajendra Chola, the trade with China had become very significant, and the trade with China was happening via this Malaya Peninsula. So they had to cover that path. When you look at the map, you will understand in a much better sense. So in South India, and just below the Sri Lanka was there, and just on means on that side of the Sri Lanka, there is a, even today it is one of the route from where the maximum number of the vessels pass through. So this Rajendra Chola, he wanted to develop the whole supremacy over that region. He don't wanted to let Indian traders face any kind of difficulty. That's why he thought that we need to take over the whole Sri Lanka, then only we can establish our hegemony, and then there will be no any kind of interruption, there will be no any kind of obstruction. Having all these things on the backdrop, Rajendra Chola, who had a very cordial relationship with the Sri Lankan king, had to take over the whole Sri Lankan empire. Apart from this, Rajendra Chola, what happens that he defeats to a Pala king whose name was Mahipala. And believe me, this Rajendra Chola follows the same footstep or the same path which had been followed by Samudragupta, known as the Napoleon of India. It was the term coined by an Irish historian W.A. Smith. So this Rajendra Chola followed the same route which had been followed by the Samudragupta and defeats to the ruler of Pala dynasty, Mahipala. And to commemorate this win, he took the title called Gangai Kond Chol,
Puram.
and he also gives the name of his capital, which was very close to Kaveri. That name was Gangai Kond Chol Puram. So Gangai Kond Chol Puram, I am not writing it since it will be very long. The ink of my marker may get finished. So Gangai Kond Chol Puram was the name of his capital, which was named after this win when he defeats to the Mahipala and some other rulers at that time, because I think he had asked to come here after having the water of river Ganga, and that water was collected on a certain pot. So the rulers who came, it means they had accepted their defeat. So Rajendra Chola is very famous in history for these two things, having the name of his capital after the Gangai Kond Chol Puram, and he took the title of Gangai Kond Chola. So for these things, this Rajendra Chola became very famous in the history of South India. After the Rajendra Chola, one ruler comes, Rajadhiraj, who was killed in a battle while sitting on the elephant. But the most well-known ruler, after which the Chola dynasty starts decaying, that is no one else but Kullo Tung first. Kullo Tung first. Why is first? Because the second is also there. Kullo Tung first. And this Kullo Tung first is famous for one thing, and I believe that it will be known to you. That is famous for a writer whose name was Kamban, the writer of Tamil Ramayana. Kamban used to be in the court of Kullotunga first. And the Tamil Ramayana, which was written by Kambana, let me tell you, this Ramayana is completely apart from the Ramayana which is in North India, which has been written by Valmiki. Because in the Ramayana of Valmiki, Ravana is a very strong character, only next to the Lord Rama. But in the Ramayana of this Kamban, in Tamil Ramayana, let me tell you that the character of Rama in Valmiki's Ramayana is very strong. In fact, there is no anyone more powerful than the Lord Rama. Technically, you can justify that Ravana was also equally powerful because he had known by whom I will be killed. Okay, that's a different matter. But Lord Rama was a very strong character. Just opposite of this one, when you go through with the Tamil Ramayana, you will see that Lord Rama is a very poor, very weak, always crying, and this sort of character. One more famous difference, by the way, there are so many differences, I just want to tell you only this one, that in the Ramayana of Valmiki, Sugriva was the character, and the brother of Sugriva was Bali. Bali had a quality that whosoever comes before the Bali, half of the energy will go into Bali's body. So that's why what happened? Lord Rama, when killed Bali, he did not come before him. He did not face off Bali. You can have a debate here that Ram was not ethically correct. So Sugriva, once the Bali was defeated, Bali was killed, the whole empire goes to Sugriva. And who was the wife of Bali? Any idea? Whose name was Tara. Actually, look, Tara, what happens in the Ramayana of Valmiki? Once the Bali was killed by Rama, she became the wife of Sugriva. But in the Ramayana of Kamban, Tamil Ramayana, this has not been reflected at all. He does not believe in this kind of story. So, the crux of the communication is that the Ramayana of Tamil land is completely apart from the Ramayana of Valmiki. The Kamban is the main figure here, and this Kamban used to be in the court of this Kullotung first, who was the last ruler of the
Chola.
Known ruler of the Chola dynasty. After this Kullotanga, so many rulers come, but and later on what happens, the whole, because it was little powerful, but after him there was no any powerful ruler, and the whole Chola dynasty starts decaying, and a time comes when it gets mixed into the soil. And this portion was took over by the dynasties like Yadava, you may have heard, Hoysala, Pandya. So these kinds of dynasties come, but let me tell you one more thing, that these dynasties, they were very short-sighted in nature. Because what was happening, that they used to quarrel with each other, they used to fight with each other, and they did not care even destroying the temples while having the battle. They did not spare even the temples. Just to think what kind of rulers were they. And when they were not united, they were kept on fighting with each other. They also disrespected the temples and all these things. What happened? The Delhi Sultanate comes and takes the advantage of their fight, and they starts ruling over India. But that is a different story. I just want to say that that's how the Chola dynasty comes into Ind, and the rest of the dynasties which come, they also gets destroyed by the Delhi Sultanate. The last thing of my today's lecture is the Chola's administration. Chola's administration, but the whole Chola empire was divided in 8 provinces. The whole Chola empire was known as, there was a term called Rastram or Rajyam. That was the whole Chola empire. Further, the Rastram or Rajyam was divided in 8 provinces, but they did not use the term province. The province is the term to make you understand. They used the term what? Mandalam. Mandalam. And mandalams were further divided.
Nadu.
No, not Nadu. They were divided as Valenadu.
Valenadu.
Valenadu. They were also known as Kottam. Okay, there may be some mistake in spelling. Kottam. Kottam or Valenadu. These Kottam or Valenadus were further divided, and the word which you just
Nadu.
Nadu. Why it is known? Because it is equivalent to the district, and every UPSC aspirants want to be a district magistrate, or he will be, interested upon this Nadu. So that's why even I also never forgot this Nadu. So Nadu is equivalent to the districts. This Nadu used to be the collection of some autonomous villages. Ur. So Ur, Nadu, Valnadu and Kottam, Mandalam, and the top one was the Rastram. Rastram was in the complete control of, in the hands of the king, and he was the whole and soul to do whatever he wanted. By the way, he also had the council of ministers. But that council of ministers was not as powerful the king used to be. So this was the administration of the Chola dynasty. One more term is there, that is called Mani Gramam. Mani Gramam or Nana Desi. Nana Desi. Mani Gramam and Nana Desi, they were related to the trade. They were basically the guilds. You can say a sort of trade union. And these were quite powerful. Believe me, they were taking care every activities related to the trade in that area, and they had the complete control to draw the equations of the trade. So this was a very brief introduction of the Chola dynasty, which was very well known for its navy and its village administration. By the way, I have not discussed till now the village administration, as the chapter is quite lengthy. Some other things are still remaining. So the kind of strongest navy they had, it is really incredible, and the kind of village administration they gave, it became a road model. You can say we are still following the model which had been given so many years before. Namaskar.